All right, we are recording. Welcome to New Consultant Training. First of all, hello and congratulations on building your business. Well, about to build your business. You are on your way to building a business. There's lots of fun to be had within Scentsy, and you probably have seen we've got Scentsy Family Reunion that's going to be virtual, so it's going to be brand new for all of us. But we have a lot of fun with Scentsy. So you definitely are in the right place. So very excited for you. I am going to go ahead and screen share because I do have a presentation up. So that way I can stay on track, because if you watch any of my videos on YouTube, I can tend to just go on for days. So I've got my notes and I've got the PowerPoint. So hopefully that should keep me on track. And I do have the chat open. So if you have questions, feel free to post in there and I should see them. I should catch them. And we'll go from there. All right. So let me go ahead and share the screen. You want to do this? And oh, you know what? I just had it pulled up on there. Oh well, that's all right. That's all right. Okay. Let's do this. There we go. Let me get rid of that. Let's go ahead and play from the start. Okay. So like I said, new consultant training. Yay! Happy join day. If you have recently joined, or if you're rejoining, reinstating, what have you, it's still a happy day. So I love welcoming new consultants. I'm very excited about that. So to give you a little bit about me, I'm Jacqui Duran. I'm director for the #Scent365 tribe. I joined Scentsy in January, well, technically January 20th of 2012. And as you can see, I promoted to director in September of 2018. So I'm not that great at math, but I can tell you, I didn't like jumpstart from the beginning. I was somebody who just kind of joined to join. And so I wandered around for a bit, kind of, if anybody asked me about Scentsy, I'd sell some Scentsy. I didn't get really excited about it until probably about 1 to 2 years in. And then I really kind of changed my mindset and I was like, I want to try and work this as a business. I think this might work. So everybody's journey is different, and we'll talk about that a lot today. Team member. So like I said, I'm a director, so I do have a team. We are a global team. We're building a really big base in Canada. So my Canadian gals and guys are working hard. I've got team members from literally places I have never ever been, in places I had to look up on a map. I have team members that are in Guam. I actually had no idea where Guam was. I'm not gonna lie, I sucked at history, or I guess geography. There you go. I also have team members. I have a team, part of a team in Hawaii. So they are very excited about virtual Scentsy Family Reunion because, you know, they don't normally, Scentsy doesn't go to Hawaii. So it's very hard for them to get to any kind of event. So it's very exciting for them to do that. Of course, in Canada, all the way up in Alaska, we've got, I've got 2 people in Alaska, and I've had some in Ireland. And so really just spread across all over the United States and around the oceans. But I do have 178 team members. So slow but steady, right? Doesn't matter your pace, you are still working that business. I did earn the annual mentor award for 2019-2020, and that is something that I actually was very, very proud to earn or work towards, because it was something that was on my radar. Like, that was something that it meant a lot to me. And so I really, really kind of set my sights on that to make sure I would earn that award. So I'm very I'm very proud of that one. I have been a breakout and expo speaker at 3 different Cincy family reunions and 4, maybe 5 world tours. I don't know. So I am used to talking in front of an audience. And I actually really love doing it. You'll soon see I really love training. It's kind of my favorite thing. And I am a full-time Cincy consultant. So this is my full-time job. I officially, I was in revenue cycle management at a local health system here in Kansas City and have been working on that career for 15 years. And I officially retired in January of 2019. And so I do Cincy full-time now. I do have 3 children. My oldest is Alyssa. She's going to be 23 in August. She lives here at home with her boyfriend. Quentin, my son, he is 18. He lives with his dad. And Madison is our youngest. She will be 11 at Christmas. And Madison has been surrounded by Cincy, obviously, since she was about 2-ish. So she was built into my Cincy world, and so it's kind of everything that she knows about mommy. But she does have Tourette's syndrome, and so along with that, she has some anxiety, some ADD, and some OCD, and so she has some needs that kind of take more precedence sometimes for me. So I am married to my best friend, Justin. He works full-time as an operation manager for a logistics company. And I wanted to share my why with you guys, why I do Cincy. And we're going to talk about why and why it's so important. And my personal why is to give my family more and to be a home support for my husband's career. For those 15 years that I worked in the hospital setting, he had to work his schedule around my career because we joke about it now, but we always talked about how I had the career, he had the job. And so when something needed to happen, maybe there was a snow day, maybe there was Madison got sick, or the older 2, we had something going on, or whatever happened, he had to kind of adjust around my schedule because my job took priority. So for all those years, he really was my backup system. And now I am very happy to say that I am now his. So, they're talking about virtual school, starting that for this upcoming school year. And it was just something like, we don't have to think about that, right? Like, I don't have to worry about that. I'm at home. So it's really nice to be able to give him the flexibility finally to live his career goals, which is fantastic. That means a lot to me. And I put my weaknesses and my strengths on here. My weaknesses, not gonna lie, is I played Nintendo Switch a lot, and Animal Crossing New Horizons is totally my weakness. And Amazon. Whenever I'm doing videos or stuff like that, or anything really, and somebody will ask me like, where did you get that? You can probably guess that I got it at 1 or 2 places, either Amazon or Target. It's literally my life. And my strength is sponsoring and training. So again, it's my passion. I kind of leaned into that passion and I love it. So it is something that gives me, or takes a lot of my attention, because I give it a lot of attention. It means a lot. And I just put in for fun, my favorite movie is The Greatest Showman. So I absolutely love that movie. Watch it probably at least 3 times a week and be happy. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. So your journey starts here. And I wanted to kind of break this up because this is kind of something that sometimes we gloss over as leaders when we have consultants who are joining. It can be, we've got terms for everything. Everything has a name. So it's kind of like starting, I want to reference it like starting a job, because you're starting a business, right? But kind of like if you were starting a new job, right? You got to have to learn the lingo. So I wanted to kind of break it down to the basics. So PRV, if you're not familiar with that, you soon will be. That stands for personal retail volume. And that really is equivalent to the sales that you are paid on. So, and to give you a very quick example of that, normally it happens to be with our licensed products. So maybe one of the Scentsy buddies comes out that's a licensed Scentsy buddy, right? Disney, Star Wars, anything like that. And maybe it sells for $45. And then you'll see in parentheses, maybe in the news tab, or your sponsor tells you, you're only going to earn $40 PRV on this. So usually with those licensing deals, that's kind of when you're paying attention to that. But the PRV is technically what you're getting paid on. So that is what your commission is essentially based on, is your personal PRV. PWS stands for personal website. This one most frequently gets confused with the next one, which happens to be your workstation. Unfortunately, we don't have a little name for that. So your personal website is the website that Scentsy literally sets up for you. So when you join as a new consultant, in your welcome email, it should be there. That's kind of where you picked the name of your website, and you get that free for the first 3 months of being a consultant. After that, it is $10 a month to keep that website running. The really big thing that I want to stress here is, especially for myself, when I, again, back to those times when this was just a hobby, it wasn't a business, I really wasn't making a whole lot of money, right? I got excited when I got like a $20 paycheck my first time, and I was like, oh, I can fill up the car. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have done so much more. Why didn't I push myself, right? But your website is really, really important, because Scentsy does all of that for you. And if you've ever tried to create your own website, it can be very, it's just very complicated. It can be. And the great thing with Scentsy is that the entire website that they give us is done for us. We don't have to touch it at all, except for a couple of pieces, and we'll talk about those couple of pieces, right? But also, having an active website is the only way that someone can join your team. So if you are truly here to build a business, make real business money income, that is something that you're going to want to commit to after those first 3 months, because otherwise nobody's going to be able to join you. And it's also a way for people to be able to find you on the consultant locator. So it does a lot of great things. Like I said, it keeps everything for us. It's a great way to be able to advertise doing social media. And I probably should have put that the majority of, not almost all of my business is strictly social media. I've done over the, since 2012, right? So for the last 8 years, I've done only maybe 5 home parties, only maybe 10 events over all those years. I just don't do those. I do everything on social media. And so, of course, having that website is an integral part of that. And especially when, and as you'll see as we get into the fall season, when we have limited time offers or special sales, things like that, there's some things that Scentsy says they can only be purchased via your website. So it's a big thing, but they take all of that out of our hands. We don't have to fuss with it at all. It's amazing. But your workstation, that is the heartbeat of your business. So that is where you're going to find all the training, the news, how you're going to enter orders, and quite literally your entire business. Some of us call it your back office. I just call it the planet Earth, because that is honestly where everything lives for me, is the workstation. So you can definitely explore that, and you'll learn more about that. And then along with all of those important things comes the Facebook groups. Now, if you have a sponsor who, you definitely want to make sure, if you haven't already, or if they haven't already told you, if they already have a group created, make sure that you're added to that group. Your director hopefully has a page, and you definitely want to make sure that you are on your director's page. And your superstar director, you probably found it already, because Tracy DeMario is all of our superstar director. And star directors, some of us have them, some of us don't. So if you don't have one, that's okay. If nobody's told you about it, that is just the step right below superstar director. So there's really a lot of good things in those Facebook groups. And we as leaders, we try and make sure that it's a great resource for you, because we can't always be available 24/7. And you guys are not always available 24/7. When I originally started back in the day, I used to work overnight in the ER, and I will tell you, there weren't a whole lot of people awake at 3 a.m. If I was like, oh, I've got a break, I want to learn something about my business, I have a question. Well, you can always now hop on hop on Facebook and jump into one of those groups, and even at like 3 a.m., if that's when you're awake and working, I can guarantee you probably somebody else is too. So it's a really great resource. And like I said, if your sponsor has one too, just being keyed into all of those things is going to be great for you. Your resources, so kind of like a chain of command, and you want to kind of get yourself into this routine, would be to, so if you have a question or you're looking for something or you want to find out more, this is kind of the pathway in which you should be taking. So hitting up that workstation. Like I said, on the workstation, you've got the training center, you've got the news tab. There's lots of important stuff there. And if you just hit that search button, 9 times out of 10, you can usually find it pretty easily. And if it is during business hours for Scentsy Home Office, there's also the live chat feature. I will tell you, there's very few times I actually call consultant support. I hit that live chat feature all the time, even if it's a simple question like, I know I saw somewhere that you guys had like an image or a graphic we could use for like those NFL warmers that were coming out. Yeah, they will answer those questions, and they're amazing. So it's a really great resource to be able to use that chat feature. Also, of course, the team pages. So those would be the Facebook pages, like I said, sponsor, director, star director, superstar director, consultant support, and then to your sponsor. And then if you have exhausted all of those means, then that's when I would reach out to your upline director and or even Tracy at that point. But hopefully by the time you've kind of worked through that, you should have hopefully gotten an answer. I'm gonna be positive and say you've probably gotten it. But if you really truly need it, or if you really truly just need a conversation with your upline director or Tracy herself, our superstar director, never hesitate to reach out, because that's what we're here for. We want to see everybody succeed. Training is another great resource. And of course, this is where I point all of my new team members to, is in the workstation. And this is another really great thing, is that the workstation is really great on mobile too. So if you're somebody who just uses your phone for Scentsy, not a laptop or a computer or what have you, it's really mobile friendly. It didn't used to be. So that's why I really say that it's great, because back in the day, it was really, really hard to get it all to line up right on the phone. Now it's wonderful. But if you just go to the workstation, if you go down to along the left-hand side, it will give you the word training, and you just look for like the little graduation hat, right? Like the high school graduation hat is what I tell everybody. Look for that little symbol, you'll click on training. And when you get into there, that actually opens up what we reference as the training center. But there is a whole topic of great videos and resources that is entitled New Consultants. And honestly, everything is there, and all of the information there in the training center is all directly from Scentsy. So you're getting it from the source. They make sure that they put up the most updated information. Sometimes we have some changes on the workstation when they do updates and things like that. But that new consultant area is great, because if you have a question about how do I enter an order, or if you have a question, you're entering an order and maybe you get stuck on where do I find the perpetual party reward to add that, going into that new consultant, and then again, just use that search bar for those keywords. You'll find it real quick. It's great. Of course, videos. Hello, here we are, video right now, right? So this is also going to be recorded and uploaded to the Scented Bliss YouTube channel. So if you aren't already subscribed to that, definitely make sure that you subscribe in there. Tracy and all of us over the years, we've tried to put a lot of content in there, and we're really trying to make sure that we get that built up for you guys. So there's some good content in there, so it's a good reference to be able to get in there. other YouTube pages. Again, if you hop on YouTube and just Google, or not Google, I guess, search Scentsy or training or orders or sponsoring, whatever it is that you're trying to look for, I guarantee you, you will find a YouTube training on it. And I will say, I kind of built my business via YouTube. And so I have to say that there's a lot of great people on YouTube doing a lot of great content now. So everybody kind of clicks and connects with different personalities, different people. And I think that if you find somebody that you can connect with, even if it's on a video, by all means, watch their videos because they're putting out amazing content. And when in doubt, go to your sponsor and ask if you've got a question that's like, I don't know about this, right? And then, of course, training in your workstation. Like I said, in that training section, there are videos, there's PDFs, there's all kinds of things. So you'll get all that there. The last main resources that I listed here was the new consultant guide. Oh my goodness, it's fantastic. Okay, in your starter kit, and it's also in the training center as well. So if you have just joined and you haven't gotten your starter kit yet, well, you can hop on to the training section in your workstation, and you could either search for just like new consultant, or it might be actually in that new consultant topics, but it is there and you can actually read it digitally if you're waiting on your starter kit. So there's no reason to even just wait for your starter kit to get it. Here's something really fun that I showed my team earlier today because I happened to come across it as I was looking for documents. So while we're talking about a new consultant guide, when I joined in 2012, this was my new consultant guide. And I will tell you, it truly, when I looked through it, it was a true blast from the past today. So things have definitely changed. A lot of this is still relevant, I think. I haven't read through the whole thing, but I look back on it like, oh my gosh, we have come so far. So you guys are getting a really great opportunity with all of the training materials that we have. Now your why. Your why. Your why needs to be something that is deep rooted. And I say that because, again, being able to connect to your why is a really huge driver for you personally. So if you are truly looking to do something with Scentsy, maybe that's just to pay off credit card debt. Maybe it's to make the car payment. Maybe it is to have that part-time income, right? That equals that part-time job that you'd rather stay home and work rather than go out of the house, right? Or even full-time income. Whatever it is that you're working for, then Scentsy is going to be able to do that for you. Now, it doesn't happen magically and it does not happen by itself. It comes with a lot of hard work. So it's nothing that I will say, oh yeah, just because you joined, that's it. Oh, why did it go back? No, go forward. There we go. All right. So it needs to be deep rooted on your why. And this is, I have so much to say about why, but if you really have a clear and defined why you are working this business, then you are going to find that that is what's going to drive you, motivate you, keep you going every single day, week, month, and just push yourself to do more and more things. And I kind of, when I describe it, I say, your why is kind of like your life purpose, right? If you look at the big scheme of things, but your why with your business is, why should you have a purpose for working Scentsy? Hopefully you have somewhat of a purpose, like I said, no matter what it is, even if it's just to put gas in the car every month, right? But if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a reason for why you're doing something, then it's kind of like driving without the GPS, right? You're just, oh, maybe it's left, maybe it's right. things in your business maybe would be like my perfect example of me just not working it like a business, right? Just kind of scooting along, doing it here, doing it there. I didn't really have that why that was set. And when you have that set, and when you have that very clear and defined, and you can connect with your why, then everything's going to become so much clearer. So when your why is clear, the how is easy. Discovering your why, and this is something that I find is kind of the easiest way to kind of come up with your why. If you're stumbling, trying to figure out what is my why, right? We talk about it a lot. So a way to discover it is to use that statement template to, and then put in a contribution, so that, and then the impact. So for me, it is to supplement my full-time income so that my husband can pursue his career goal. That's something that is deep rooted for me personally, because like I said, my family is my world. And to be able to do this, especially during a pandemic, right? When everything is upside down, is such a blessing to me. And I hold that very near and dear to me. So I've really put a lot of emotion behind that to be able to say, this is why I work my business every single month, because that paycheck is what helps keep this household running, right? It's what helps us with the car payments and the electricity bills and all the other things that come along with just living. And it should be simple and clear and something that you can refer back to. And it needs to be focused on how you'll control. Yeah, right? Okay. Yeah, how you'll use that to control, and something that can resonate within you. Okay, so again, it needs to be something that you can truly have that connection with. This is why I work this business. This is why I try and book parties. This is why I'm building a team. It's not, I mean, yeah, it's fun, but at the same time, we got to have that deep rooted why, because that's what's going to keep you going. So setting the foundation for your business. We talked about your PWS. Remember, that is personal website. I know, I think it should be workstation, but it is not. But your PWS is essential. And I kind of touched on that in talking about how, oh, I'm not sure what's going on there. The way for someone to join your team is going to be through your personal website. The way for people to actually get on and view the catalog, to order when you're doing Facebook parties, if you're doing any kind of text parties, messenger parties, all the cool things that all the cool cats and kittens are doing right now, right? So all those things, that PWS, that personal website, needs to be there. And that's why it is so essential for your business. Now, I did tell you that with your workstation and with your website, you really don't have to touch anything on your website, right? Like, since he does it all for you, which is awesome. But there is a couple little things that you do have to touch to make that website kind of come to life and be you. Okay. And one of those things is when you go to your workstation and click on the account tab. When you're on the account tab, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see where you can edit your personal website. And what you want to do is that gives you an option to actually put your story, and that can include your why, and of course a picture on it. Now, when I say picture, okay, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to put my picture on things, right? Put your picture on things. You got to let that go. You just got to get out of that and let it go and not worry about what the world thinks, because at the end of the day, people are going through Scentsy through you. Okay. And so in order for them to connect to you, they want to see you. And they don't need to see you all, glamour shots or whatever. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, right? Put a fun filter on it if that's you. If you and your spouse, or you and your dog, because your dog is the love of your life, Don't tell my husband, but Hero's the love of my life, right? So maybe it would be, this is me and my dog, right? So even if that's what it is, you just really have to be authentic and make it you, because again, that's how people are going to connect, because they're going to connect with you. As much as they love Scentsy, we all love Scentsy. It's probably part of the reason why we're all here. But as much as they love Scentsy, why are they buying it from you and not somebody else? They have to connect with you and build those relationships. So they want to be able to see you. And another great way to do that is with your story. And the story doesn't have to be, I have team members too who get very caught up on that, like kind of trip over that part. And they're like, I don't have a story. I don't know. I just joined, right? Like, I don't know. Here's the deal. Again, it's really just an opportunity to let somebody know who you are. I've got a superstar consultant on my team who's been doing fabulous. Her name is Lisa, and she is all about her cat, and she uses her cat in a lot of her marketing. And she just does amazing things, and it's so great because she ties her cat into everything that she does with her business. And so what that has done is it's kind of given someone, when they see something that she does, they kind of reference it back because they know it's probably her, because she kind of has built that into her brand. And guys, at the end of the day, you are your brand. Yes, we sell Scentsy, but again, people are buying Scentsy because of their connection with you, or they can relate to your story. So be authentic and be genuine in that story. So if you join Scentsy because you've got kids and you want to be able to stay home for the kids, or you're taking care of parents or family or loved ones, or you just wanted something that was just you and not everybody else. That was one of my reasons in the very beginning, and still is, for joining, is that, most of us here are women. I do have a good number of guys on my team now too, and I'm seeing more men coming into it, and I love it. But I think a lot of us can relate to the fact of, we kind of go through thinking that we always have the mom hat on or the job hat on, whatever that job is, right? Or I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that. And you just kind of get lost in the middle of it. So for me, Scentsy was kind of giving me something, right? It was setting something up that was just Jacqui. Wasn't about my husband, wasn't about my kids, right? I could kind of go in and just be me. And sometimes it's as simple as that. But if you're sharing that in your story for whatever that is, and trust me, I've read some heartbreaking stories. I know many consultants who do this because their spouse or their children are very ill, or have cancer, or have other various issues. And they're like, I need to be able to make this work for me. And if that story can resonate with someone else, trust me, they're going to either want to become your best customer, or they're going to want to join your team and help you build that business. So that's why the story and the picture are so essential on your website. So if you haven't done that, try and take time to do that. It will make a difference. My other favorite thing to tell everybody is click all the buttons on your workstation. No matter what, you cannot break the workstation. Now, we joke because Scentsy has broken the internet a few times with some of our sales over the years, right? But at the same time, the only way that you're really going to learn that workstation, you can watch all the trainings, you can listen and go meet with your sponsor and sit down and do the whole thing, right? But unless you really get there and play around with it and click all the buttons and click the links and see what takes you here and there and where it all is, that's when you learn. And I like to encourage my new consultants and my new team members to actually go on and play around with an order. Like, pretend that you're putting in this amazing $500 order. Maybe it's your own personal wish list. I can guarantee you, I at least have a $500 wish list. But go in there and make up an order. You're not going to accidentally buy anything unless you accidentally put your credit card number in. Okay? So Play around with it. See what happens when you get to that $500 mark. Then what happens if you click here, if you click here? Oh, I see. Okay, if I do that, that's what happens, right? Play around with it. You are not going to break it. But as long as you feel comfortable with your workstation, that's going to help you out tremendously, trust me. Now, here's where I'm going to tell you some hard truth. I don't really do a whole lot of hard truth. I'm not that person, but your sponsor is not there to train you. You are there to train yourself. Your sponsor is there to mentor and coach you. Now, that's a really big thing. And for me, I was like, what? What is, well, that's why I joined, was for my sponsor. Here's the deal, guys. We are our own business owners, right? So there comes a time when we got to take the training wheels off. And I can sit here, and your sponsor and your director and Tracy, we can all sit here all day long and be like, oh my gosh, I want this so bad for you. This can do amazing things for you. If you book this party, then it's going to be great. And oh, that one might fail. That's okay. And when you do that Facebook party, oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. This is going to be great. Do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. Unless you're doing the do, then nothing's happening, right? We can motivate you all day. We can inspire you. We can give you tips and ideas. But if you don't actually implement them, it's not working a business. And I personally have found that the more that I pour into myself and into my business, the more I am better off, so to speak. Does that even make sense? Because I take time every single week, even myself. I've been doing this for 8 years. I'm a director. I am working on hashtag next step star director, right? I'm going for it. I'm not stopping here. But let me tell you, every single week, I still am watching trainings. I'm still pouring into myself. I'm still trying to learn as much as I can. And by doing that, you're going to empower yourself, and you're going to feel, and you're going to quickly learn that, again, going back to the why, right? When the why is clear, the how is easy. All of that's going to come into play. Now, as a new consultant, you do have 2 important awards, and it is your only chance to earn these 2 awards. And that is the Shooting Star Award. That is your first 15 days as a consultant. And the clock does start clicking when you hit the join button. So from day 1, not from the day you get your starter kit, but from the day you join, that is your first 15 days. Shooting Star is getting 500 in PRV within those first 15 days. Sensational Start is your first 70 days. Again, from the day that you hit the join button, not the day you get the starter kit. The join day, your first 70 days. And you can get level 1, 2, or 3. There are up to 3 levels. And so that is truly the only time that you are able to earn those awards. Now, if you don't hit those awards, I don't want you to knock yourself down. I can tell you, I personally didn't hit either of them. I know it personally took me a really long time just to even get to certified, because I just really wasn't interested in doing that whole business thing. I didn't feel like a salesperson. Like, I can't do that, right? So if I had asked myself in January of 2012, how are you going to do this business? Are you going to be a director someday? I would have laughed myself out of the room, because I was like, no, that will never be me. But here I am. I'm still doing it every single day, every single week, every single month. And I love everything about it. Compensation. Familiarize yourself with the compensation plan. In the event for this, I did put like a little graphic that can kind of show you, it's got little fun arrows on it and stuff like that, like how bonuses kind of come into play. A lot of that is more once you start building your team and sponsoring. But just remember that with the compensation plan, the more that you learn the compensation plan, the more you're going to be able to control how much money you can actually make. And getting paid at title, once you hit lead consultant, things like that, that's when we're really going to have those discussions with you, we as your leaders and your directors. The consultant training guide, Make it your Bible. And the product training guide is life. I actually have the newest one coming to me now. I think that order comes tomorrow. This is the one that is current. So every single time that we have a new catalog, they come out with a product training guide. Guys have been doing this for 8 years. You would think, oh, Jacqui probably knows all about wax and warmers, right? Hello. Every single catalog, we have some kind of a new product. And this product training guide, it's amazing. If you ever lose it, you can always buy it again in the Scentsy Success Store. It's $2. But not only does it tell you every single thing you need to know about all the different products that we have, right? Even the fragrance flower there, but it gives you great sales tips. It gives you great kind of like, did you know facts? This thing is amazing. It forever sits right here at my desk. So whenever I'm working, if I'm on a coaching call, if I'm talking with a customer, if I'm doing a Facebook party, whatever it is, I got this right here. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've got mom brain and it only can hold so much. So as much as I feel that I am familiar 100% with Scentsy, I don't know everything, and you don't have to know everything. That's why we have these resources. So they're great for you. Now, what you need to do when you're a new consultant is to launch your business. Announce it to the world, okay? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't put too much stress and pressure on yourself when you are first starting out. Guys, you can really put a lot of pressure on, at least let me speak for myself here for a moment. I put a lot of pressure on myself to like, I can do this. I can do this. I want to have the best party. I want to have the best. I want to get shooting star. I want to get this. I want to get that, right? I want to earn that incentive. And then if it doesn't work out, now I'm feeling down about myself. You guys have got to learn to give yourself grace. Just know that not every party you have is going to be a success, but it's also not every party is going to be a failure. Whether it's a Facebook party, an in-person party, an event, a fundraiser, whatever it is that you try in your Scentsy journey, always remember that. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Try and look for words or a theme other than saying the word party. Because I tell you this out of love, because again, I run my business majority on social media, and you guys know probably just as well as I do, right? The whole stigma that people have when they see that you're doing some direct sales, and what do they automatically think? They're like, oh, they're going to hit me, and they're going to message me, and they're going to ask me to join a party, and then they're going to have me buy something, right? They have this whole story in their head of what a party is. So if you can find other ways to call it something other than a party, call it that. That would be my number one best tip, because that kind of helps knock away that immediate stigma that people think about. Creating a party link on your workstation. So you can go to your workstation, go to orders, and you can create a party link. Then what I recommend in launching your business is to create a Facebook group. I personally have one for my I call it my VIP page, but that is kind of where I kind of point my customers to, right? I like to treat my customers as my VIPs. And especially when you're launching your business, you don't want to necessarily, and Facebook's got lots of algorithms and rules out there, right? And I'm sure you guys know, and you've probably seen people going, yeah, I'm in Facebook jail, right? Because Facebook does have some standards. So they don't like to see a lot of what they consider spammy. So if you're putting your website out there too much or hashtagging too much, right? They kind of flag those accounts, those personal accounts, and say, whoa, you're trying to be a little salesy over here. Now you can create a business page, which is perfectly fine to be able to post all those links, do all of your marketing there. The VIP page, or the group page that you can create, like I said, I recommend it just because it kind of gives me a place to send my customers to, where I can kind of talk to them, where it's not so salesy on my business page over there, right? Like everything gets promoted over there. But I like to try and make my customers be like, oh, I'm so glad that Jacqui's my consultant, right? Like, I want to treat them like gold. I want them to feel valued, and I want to be able to give them what they want and answer those questions. Create a short video of using and demonstrating a product. And it can be something as simple as changing your wax, using the counter clean, anything you like. What is your favorite product? Do just a short little clip of a video. I know not a lot of people like being on video. If you don't want to be on the video, you don't have to be on the video. Just use the back camera, right? Just use that one, not the front one. And then do that of changing your wax, because even those customers that you're going to have at those first parties, things like that, maybe they aren't yet familiar with sensing, maybe they've heard of it, but have no idea what this whole wax and warmers things is, right? They may want to see, how do you actually change the wax? You just dump it in the trash, and what, cotton balls? What's that about, right? Like, there's lots of different ways that you can just share that. And sometimes just sharing the product knowledge with your customers can go a long way. And know your products. I'm going to say it again. Product training guide. It's got it all in there for you. Everything is there. But of course, you can also go to your workstation, go to that training tab. You can also look at it there as well. Of course, I'm always going to tell every single person that I encounter to be genuine and to be authentic. Plain and simple. If you are the crazy, funny person who puts on the funny hats and dances in the kitchen, then do that with your customers. If they know you and your personality, what would they expect to see you in your business, right? And if you can do that, then they're going to, again, be able to connect with you and be like, oh my gosh, I just love it when she does that. It cracks me up every time I see one of those posts, right? So be authentically yourself. Explain how, and this is when you're kind of doing your launch event, right? So whether that's online because of COVID, in person, however it is that you're doing it, right? This kind of goes across all of those mediums, but explain to the guests how they're going to order and how they're going to pay. Because there is one way, right? You've created a party link on your personal website, and you can say, hey, go to the website, you can order from here, and it'll take your payment. We have PayPal. I love that option now, because I don't even have to get up from my couch anymore to go get the credit card. I love it. That's why Amazon's my weakness. But you have to be able to let your customers know how they're going to actually make that payment. And if maybe you're doing a personal party and maybe the party's going to ship to you, how are they going to pay you? If you're just showing things on, Facebook Live or doing a picture on a group or event, how are they going to be able to pay you for that order and give you that order? I have customers who I do those parties for a lot, and usually what they will do is they will either I usually will mail out like a product list to them, and they'll either circle or highlight what they want, or they'll just text me, I want this, 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 and this. And then I just go on to PayPal or to Venmo or the Cash App, and I send them an invoice. They know how that payment's going to happen. And so it's really great, and it's an easy way to be able to get that in. The more events you have, the more guests you will meet, and the magic is following up with them. Follow-up is huge, and we're going to talk about follow-up here in just a second. But again, when I say events, I'm not just saying like a big event. I kind of call all of my parties an event. I don't use the word party. I usually use the word event. So the more parties you have, if that's how you want to look at it, the more guests that you're going to meet, and then you're going to follow up with those people. And that's how you're going to build that customer base. Of course, sharing on social media, people are watching you online. Share everything about your business. Oh my goodness, I can't say this enough. I love Instagram. It is truly my platform of choice. And I love the story feature. Of course, we have that on Facebook as well, so you could do it there too. People like to see the behind the scenes. Again, another way they can connect with you, right? If they're thinking about joining Scentsy, and maybe they've heard somebody else who's done Scentsy before, like, oh my gosh, when I did a home party, I had to carry in like all these bags and all this stuff, and oh my God, it was a mess. Show them how you work your business. I love to do that in my stories on Instagram, and then I usually will sometimes share them to Facebook as well, but usually Instagram. But I love showing them the behind the scenes. Look, I'm making wax samples today. Whoa, it's sample day. People love seeing that stuff. And again, if you're consistent in sharing what you're doing and how easy it is to work this business, then people are going to be that much more intrigued, and they're going to like you. They're going to follow you. They're going to trust you. And they'll be like, oh, I see them working their business like all the time. And that doesn't seem too hard. Like I could totally do that. Yeah, they could. Okay. So offer the opportunity. You never know if this business could change someone's life. It's never too early to build a team either. That's probably like the number one question I get asked from YouTube and from Instagram is, I just joined and somebody wants to join my team and I don't think I'm ready to train anybody. First of all, yes, tell them to join your team. And second of all, who says that you have to know all the answers to have someone join your team, right? Right? And it's really great having people join your team when you are first starting too, because it's kind of almost like a built-in accountability partner. You get to kind of learn the business with a friend and you guys will build a really close connection that way. I love it when my team members start recruiting early because it really helps them going forward, because they then automatically like have that person that they can talk to, bounce ideas off of. Hey, this worked. Hey, this sucked, whatever it was. And you can kind of go through it together. And when we're talking about, offering this opportunity, you'll hear it a lot from a lot of leaders and a lot of people. This business can truly change lives. And I don't say that to be ridiculous sounding, so I hope it doesn't come off that way. But changing lives in the fact of this is giving, people an opportunity to have income, to work from home, especially during the times that we're living in, right? And especially as we go into the school year, if you've got younger kids or grandkids, they're talking about virtual school. What are those parents going to do? My husband and I have talked about this already. Like if I was still working in my corporate job and he had his career, like what would we do? I don't even know what we would do, how we would make it work. So if you're able to see an opportunity to help somebody by saying, hey, you could start a business and make money doing this. I mean, if you want to put time and energy into it, you can make as much money as you want to. That's changing someone's life. That's amazing to give someone that opportunity. It's a marathon, not a race. Comparison is the thief of joy. And I got stuck on this one for a long time. Some days I still find myself comparing myself, even, 8 years into Scentsy, right? You see a lot of these great, amazing leaders and superstar directors, and they have these cute bags and these huge offices and all the things, right? And you're just like, that's not me, right? Don't let comparison steal your joy, because it can steal your joy. Don't do it, because we are in competition with no one except ourselves. Comparison is not an option. Focus on being an extraordinary, if you're just joining, essential consultant, and the promotion will come. So focus on where you're at is really the truth in that part, right? Focus on where you're at and being the best one you can be. So following up with those customers, having those events or parties, talking to people about the opportunity. I see that you're struggling to make ends meet. Hey, you could always give this a go. See if it works for you, right? Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. Okay, you gave it a go. Find inspiration from others rather than comparing yourself to others. So if you are seeing those, people and you're just like, oh my gosh, how do they do all the amazing things they do and everything, all their samples are so cute. Get the inspiration from them. Have that be the fuel to what you want to aspire to. Network with team members or other Scentsy consultants that you connect with. OMG, do you know that I have met more amazing people that aren't even in the Scented Bliss family simply because I started having conversations with them. Like, these are people that will be friends for life for me. They're there on the bad days. If I'm having a bad day, I can text one of them. How amazing is that to have that just built into this business? Identify your strengths and weaknesses. I kind of shared with you my weaknesses and strengths at the beginning, but you have to identify those and just embrace them, right? We're being authentic here, right? I'm going to tell you right now, I suck at being a salesperson, right? That's why I was just like, this is not for me. I hate, and I feel so uncomfortable being like, do you want to buy this? Like, no, I'm so uncomfortable with that. That's a weakness for me. I'm not good at it. If that was what it took to run a business with Scentsy, I would not be here today. I share the passion that I have for all these products and how I use them in my home and in my life. So when you're building your business, as you're starting to build your business, think of systems. You need to decide on what your follow-up system is going to be, because once you have that initial launch event, party, whatever you're calling it, right, whatever it was, you need to have a way that you're going to follow up with them. As a new consultant, we do have access to, it's called AMI, A-M-I. It is an app. I believe you get it free for the first 3 months. And what it does, there's a free version and then there's the full version. You get the full version free for your first 3 months as a new consultant. The cool thing is that Amy directly links with your workstation. So like one of my favorite ways to do follow-up is when I'm in bed at the last moment of the night and I'm like, oh, crap, I remember that Laura ordered from me and I need to at least send her just a quick thank you. Okay. And I open my Amy app and I'm literally in bed doing my follow-ups, right? It's awesome. I don't have to open my workstation. I don't have to look for somebody's email, phone number, whatever. I can do it all from there. Check it out. See if it's for you. If that's not for you, if you're a notebook and pen person, I was for years. I've still got all my notebooks on there, right? I wrote everything down. That was literally where my brain lived for everything. If that's your system, then that's your system. If it's a planner, do the happy planner things, right? The Aaron Conundrum planners, all those things, right? All those things. If it's digital, I'm a digital planner person, right? So I got my iPad and everything is here all in one place, but it's just like the notebook, right? Everything is there. Create those systems to where you can work smarter, not harder. With your customer base, you need to focus on building relationships and not on sales. I mean, if you want to be salesy, you can. It might get you some sales, but at the end of the day, if you're able to build relationships with your customers, they're going to be your customers and they're going to continue to choose you rather than buying Scentsy from them or them or them or them. Or when they decide, hey, maybe I want to join Scentsy, they're going to join you and not her or him or them or whoever. Marketing, working smarter, not harder. Authentic marketing works best. I'm just going to say it. People want to see how you either decorate your home with a warmer, right? They love those pictures. Hashtag Scentsy snapshot, right? If you look for that. But they want to see those. They want to know, how does that counter clean work? Like I've done it a couple of times. I love doing it in my microwave, right? Like I show like the before picture. It's ridiculous and nasty. And then I use the counter clean in there. And then I take the after and I have people be like, oh my gosh, it's like a whole new microwave. Yeah, no, that's how good the cleaner is, right? Like that's what they want to see. They can look in the catalog and they can see a flyer all day long. But if they see something in action and how you use it, that's where they're going to, again, build that connection. And hosts and events, you have to really figure out a system. Where are you going to have those coming from? Referrals is a really great way to build your network. So when you're starting your business and you're getting those initial customers, you know what? Even if they come to you and they're like, no, I'm not into the whole wax warmer thing. I don't wash my clothes, therefore I don't need any of your laundry liquid things. I don't clean my kitchen, so I don't need your counter clean things, right? Okay, fine. Do you know someone who does? I love referrals. And I'd love to spoil you with XYZ, whatever it is that you decide is your referral, right? I usually will send like a scent circle or something like that to the person who sent me someone else. And I'll usually just write on the back of the scent circle, thank you so much for referring Lisa. It was great. Right? And they're like, awesome, I'll refer somebody else. I need another one of these, right? That's a really great way to build your customer base. Building into atomic habits. Oh my goodness, I'm all about habits. So networking. Making connections with people. Again, the more that you make connections with people, the more that you build those relationships, the more that you're going to be able to continue your business. Making connections. You have to serve your, I like to, instead of customers, guests, right? So I substitute that, right? So again, it's that like, know, trust factor. When they like you, if they can relate to you, right? They see you picture your Instagram stories or your pictures on Instagram, and they can relate to you because, oh, you love binge watching that show too. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that's my person, right? Like you can find those things that you love about people online, and you can make those connections. And when they like, know, and trust you, again, they're going to come back to you time and time again. Follow up. You got to do it. However it is, whatever it looks like, whether it's Amy, whether it's the notepad, whether it's the notebook, whether it's Post-it notes, whatever it is, do it. Find the one that works for you. Be present. This is another reason why I hate Facebook. I know it's horrible to say. I only get on Facebook for the Scentsy groups and to do my thing, and I'm out, because scrolling Facebook is not working your business. It is a huge time suck. But if you can use Facebook for its powers of good and just get on there to be productive, that's great. Remember, one of my weaknesses is playing my Nintendo Switch and Animal Crossing. Yeah, I got to set a timer some days, because otherwise it's like, oh crap, I just lost a whole hour playing my game. I needed to do my follow-ups and send out those emails. So if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. If you want to scroll Facebook, set a timer if you need to. And evaluate what is working for your business and what is not working for your business. I do this at the end of every single month, and I teach my team. Well, I say I teach my team because I talk to them all about it every single end of month. What went well this month? What didn't go well? So what went well that I can now try and duplicate or build upon it for next month? And what just really bottomed out on me this month, and I'm going to be like, not doing that one again, right? And I can pivot. I can figure something else out. You guys know the Friends reference, right? Pivot. Okay, I won't do it. At the end of the day, you've got this. You've got this. The Senate Bliss family is cheering you on, and we are so excited to have you a part of this amazing journey with us. And it is truly the truth when I say that. We are truly so blessed and excited. And I know I can speak on behalf of Tracy, that even Tracy, as long as she's been doing this with as many people as she talks to, and all of us that she helps in the pages and on the phone and whatever, if we message her, if we text her, whatever, at the end of the day, we truly love cheering you guys on. So here in this picture, you'll see a lot of the directors. So maybe you'll see your director here in this picture. We did that a couple of months ago, like 2 months ago, and it was just a real fun thing. And it just, to me, really exemplifies the fact that we truly are a family. Like these people, even if for some reason I was like, I quit Scentsy, I'm not doing that anymore, I hate it now, right? I would still be friends with all of these people. That's an amazing connection right there. And one of my favorite quotes that I use a lot is from Orville Thompson. Hopefully you guys know Orville and Heidi, right? One of Orville's quotes was, know the way, go the way, and show the way. So as you are becoming and building your brand and your business and really getting into everything and learning everything, hopefully you're having coaching calls with your sponsor or your upline director. If you need assistance like that, please reach out and ask for it, because a lot of times, I can speak for myself, like, I don't know if somebody's out there like wishing I would text them. I'm like, I can't read somebody's mind, but if you come to me or message me or talk to me and let me know, then by all means, I'm gonna make time for you. We're gonna sit down and have a conversation or whatever, right? Orville says it best by knowing the way, that's creating your systems, setting up your follow-up system, right? Getting that referral system in, figuring out how you're best going to work your business. Is it going to be social media marketing? Is it going to be events, fundraisers, whatever it is? Then you're going to go the way. You're going to do the work, right? You're going to do it. You're going to put those plans into motion. And then you're going to show the way. Because what is it if you know all the things and you have the greatest success doing this fundraiser or doing a party this way, you figured out how to do a bingo party and oh my gosh, you got like $750 in sales and it was amazing. And this is how I did it. If you keep all that information to yourself, then that's just being selfish. We are here to share because let me tell you again, we are not here to compete or to compare ourselves to anybody else. There is enough room in this company for every single one of us to be a superstar director, if that's what you choose, or a director and make a $7,000 paycheck in that month. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. And just because she's doing it or he's doing it doesn't mean that now you lose out. Sharing the wealth and sharing what we learn with our network, with our family, is how we grow together and how we become so amazing. And of course, I'm going to end it with the Scentsy Life because hello, hashtag Scentsy Life. So, I know that was a whole lot of information. I am recording this. I am going to upload it to the YouTube Scented Bliss page. And I will also post this in there. And I'm also going to post some resources that I give my team from my Google Drive. And it's kind of, some graphics that help you to keep track. So again, if you're more of a paper and pen person, it's something great that you can print out and have with you and start building your business on. So my biggest thing that I'll leave you with is reach out when you need help, when you have a question. When you're asking questions, that means you're working and that means you're learning. If you're not asking, and again, I say it a lot, but I tell my team this all the time because I talk to them every week, right? And I'm like, if you're not asking questions, then that means you probably aren't doing enough, right? Like you need to ask. Everybody's got questions. I still have questions. We all are going to have questions. And so I don't want you to ever feel that you can't ask a question, or maybe it's a stupid question, or somebody is going to think I'm an idiot if I ask this question. Trust me. All of us at one time or another were in your shoes starting day one and we had no idea what PWS meant. It is okay. Always be there to ask questions, have fun, be yourself, and most of all, know that we are here cheering you on. So I hope you guys have a great night. I hope this helped you. Like I said, this will be there for a resource. And if you ever need me, I'm always here too. Hello. I love it. See, get the kids involved. You got to grow them up with Scentsy. You guys have a great night. Bye.